Welcome, everybody, to the Den of the Dogs podcast. I am your host, Clarence Wilson, and with me today, we have a special guest host. You might know this man from the Pile Driver podcast. You might know this man from the articles written on Believeland Media. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Sample.
What an intro. Thanks, man.
Like that?
I'm glad to be here, bro.
Happy to
I've been
have
wanting to come on here for a while.
you. I've been happy to have you. I see
Happy to
I
be
see
here,
you
man.
rocking the championship belt.
Yeah, got a custom Cleveland Browns championship belt. Figured since I'm from the Pile Driver, got to bust this bad boy out. I usually only bust this out for game days, but it's a special occasion, so it's coming out today.
That thing is sweet.
Thanks,
Sweet.
man. Heavy. I whacked myself in the head a few times at the games, just throwing it up in the air. But almost give myself a damn concussion.
That thing is tight. I might need to might need to figure out where you got that thing from. I might have to invest in one of those. That's pimp.
I'll have to hit you up, man. I'll give you the info. I'll give you the info.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, Dean, let's get into it. The Browns cut down their 53.
Yes, they did. Final
Um
53.
yeah, man. We're gonna run through a quick list, go position by position, kind of see how we feel. Maybe some surprises, maybe some things.
I got a few surprise cuts
Okay.
that kind of shocked me, but not too
Let's go.
many. Some were
Yeah,
expected. Well, most were expected, but there's some positions that are cut a little short that I'm kind of concerned about. But
that makes two of us.
yeah,
Let's get into it. Quarterback, we kind of knew what was going to happen. We knew that Jacoby was going to be the starter, uh, and Dobbs was going to be the backup. All this until Deshaun Watson gets back.
just
They did make a move today.
they did
They
a
did.
surprising move.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Isaac Rochelle, did I get that right?
Yep, Isaac Rochelle, who I thought
Yeah,
played pretty well during the preseason, in my opinion,
I did
um,
too. Thought he
on the
played all right.
defensive line. They made a
Yeah,
cut to make room for the QB we brought in today.
yes, kind of a surprising move as far as I guess the cut of Rochelle to get him. I
Uh,
thought maybe there was somewhere else they might have looked on the roster to cut at. But what's your kind of thoughts on that?
I was really surprised as well, especially because we kind of need more help, more depth at the defensive line position. Our line needs to be bolstered up, and I thought, like I said, I thought he played pretty well throughout the preseason. He came in as a free agent this offseason, but I was kind of rooting for him, Loki. But to bring in a quarterback and take away a position, another person in our defensive line kind of shocked me. I kind of was hoping they would go maybe a wide receiver, or I don't know. Maybe because I'm being negative towards Anthony Schwartz, man.
Leave that man alone.
I
No,
want him to do good, but he makes it hard to root for him, man. He really does. Dude's got the speed, all the speed in the world. It's just dude can't catch the ball. I don't know
yeah,
what I don't know what needs to happen, man. How can we get that man to catch the ball? I see him practice. They tweet it all the time on Cleveland Browns Twitter. They be showing videos, let him know us know he can catch them during practice. But when it comes game time, I don't know if he gets scared or what. But
it's got to be mental at this point. He got to have the yips. Like, yeah, he
maybe
never, he didn't. I guess last year there's not a big sample size, but he didn't seem to have. He had a couple drops last year for sure. Some wrong routes run, but I mean, I was at the game Saturday and just pass after pass would hit his hands and he would just hit the ground.
easy catches too, man.
Yep.
It's either off the hands or off the chest. It's just like I said, the route runnings I'm not really too concerned about. That can be worked out more and more with experience, but you got to catch the ball.
Yeah.
And
Especially him being the only guy that like I would say pretty much the only guy at the skill positions at the wide receiver spot who can really take the top off the defense. He's got that speed. Yeah, what good is the speed if you can't catch the ball?
right, special teams maybe.
That's what I thought, but
Or can he
it
catch
almost seemed
kickoffs? I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe with nobody around him, and he can just wait for it to come to him. Maybe that'll help. But
I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
there was times last season when I seen him come across the middle and he would like turn his head too early and bounced off his hands. I don't know if he heard footsteps and got nervous. It's mental. It's got to be mental, man. I think you're
Yeah.
right, 100%. It's got to be mental. It's like a mental block. Maybe it's like a something similar to Markel Fultz or Ben Simmons in basketball. Something's
Hmm.
going on there, man. It's just
What's that guy for the Yankees back in the day who couldn't throw it to first base? Chuck Knobloch
yes,
could not throw the ball.
Chuck
Dude, he used to
Knobloch.
sail that damn ball over the first baseman's head.
I haven't heard that name in a while. You were right too. It's
Yeah,
I don't know if we got to bring in somebody or somebody on the coaching staff's got to step up and try to get through to him in a way that can get him past that. That'd be great. I mean, like I said, dude's got all the speed in the world. He could be talented if he could just catch the ball.
yeah. Our running back room, we kind of to me, it's the best running back room in the NFL
Hands down.
by
I don't even
far.
want to debate that with anybody. I hear
Yeah,
people
by
talk
far.
bad about it all the time because it's the Browns, but you can't deny the greatness, man. That room is stacked.
I mean, you go Chubb, Kareem, then Dearness, and then we got the two young kids. Felton, who we got last year, who looks like he's going to be looks like he might be the primary kick returner, and then
I
Ford.
Ford's has been impressive, man. Ford has
Mm-hmm.
been really impressive. I feel like Demetric Felton, they didn't know how to utilize him last year.
I agree.
Um, I can see him if utilized right. He can be like a Darren Sproles, kind
Mm-hmm.
of.
Okay.
Um, I'm hoping for a little breakout with him. Nothing too crazy, but definitely more than what we saw from last year because it looked promising in the beginning of the season, but they just seemed like they didn't know how to use him properly.
For sure, for sure. And that brings us to the wide receivers, where I think this is kind of where he might fit in a little bit. Um, we just talked about Schwartz. We it's well documented his drop issues. This is a
Well
position of
documented.
need for me. Yeah, well,
Dude's
this is
been
a
getting
position of
roasted
need for
on
me.
Twitter.
Ever since they signed Coop, but everything else is guys that were left from last year. So we got Schwartz and Peoples, or rookies in Bell and Woods. Um, I they've got to do something at that position to me because I've been saying it for weeks now. If Coop goes down,
We're
for
in trouble.
God forbid, we're in serious trouble. Serious trouble.
Can Donovan Peoples Jones step up and be the wide receiver we've been hoping him to be?
That's a great question. I mean, he had his moments last year, but again, one season is not, and one season under 1,000 yards is, you're hoping the guy's going to continually get better.
Right.
But you have that. That's a great question. Can he step up and be that dude?
I mean, he's a late round draft pick when we brought him in, but we had high expectations for him, knowing how talented he was in college. So I'm like wondering, like, if he doesn't produce the way we've been hoping him to, do we kind of consider him a bust? I know him being late draft pick, it's kind of hard to label him a bust, but considering, like, I don't know. Do you think maybe we just had our way too high of expectations for him right off the
I
rip?
I kind of do. I mean, he was a 6th round choice for a reason. Uh, but I think with all Browns fans, we're trying to look for the positive.
We've been trying for years.
We're trying to look for the positive. So, we saw him coming out of Michigan. We're like, got this kid in the 6th round. He's got a little bit of speed. This is going to be a prove it year for him. This is going to be a prove it year because, quite honestly, looking at this list, you've got Coop, and then I don't know who the clear cut number 2 is. You think it was DPJ?
You would
You would
think.
think, but
I mean, can we see Michael Woods step up? I don't know.
he looked. I mean, the small sample size, he looked solid, and so the same thing with David Bell. But this I don't know. To me, this is a group that they've got to make some kind of move at. Maybe
Can
maybe one of the running backs are dealt for a vet wide receiver, or maybe they do hit the free agent market and get the guys that people have been talking about for a while, like a Will Fuller or a
Who
Ty.
out of that one and grab group, who would you think would be the guy? Dearnest?
Probably,
Yeah,
probably. But I mean, that's the only. I wouldn't let go of Hunt for nothing right
no,
now.
absolutely not.
So
If we can get them both Chubb and Hunt on the field at the same time and utilize them
mhm.
like Mack and Biner back in the day, man,
Scary,
it can be. It can be.
scary.
It can be very scary. Defenses wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I doubt they would give up on Ford this early, especially how great he looked. I'd hate to see Dearness go, but I agree with you. We need to bring in somebody. Is there any surprising wide receivers that have been cut that you would like to possibly bring in? I know you mentioned Will Fuller.
Yep.
I've seen people trying to lobby OBJ to return. Would you take back OBJ with open arms? Josh
And
Gordon was released.
I saw he was released, and if he could still play, yes. But I'm assuming since he was released, I'm thinking that maybe it's a wrap for him.
Yeah, if you can't make it in Kansas City with Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes, then.
yeah,
But then again, at that time they had Tyreek and Kelsey, and that was they got a lot of Mahomes' passes, but
yeah. But I I've heard OBJ's name brought up time and time again. As far as I'm concerned, until we figure out like what was the whole situation with him telling players not to come to Cleveland, that to me is he came out on Twitter and said something to the effect of, "Yeah, we don't know the whole story." He's
yeah,
right, we don't. Then
he
tell
kind of
us
hinted
because
that we
that looks
would at
bad.
some point. When's that going to be?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like you got to say something because to me, if you're straight up undermining the squad, I don't ever want you back.
yeah, that's a cancer in the locker room. Somebody's being that way. But then
Yeah,
again, I've heard rumors that he kind of was part of the reason Deshaun decided to come here.
I've heard the same.
So I don't know if that's true or not. Who knows? It's all he said, she said at this point. But
Hmm.
maybe one day we'll find out the real truth. And then you got him commenting on Baker's thing saying ball out or
Yeah.
be great or something like that. I forget exactly what he said, but it's like
What he
makes
said,
me
what he said,
wonder.
go shine, go
Yeah, go
shine,
shine. That's what it
go
was.
shine.
Like,
Which makes you think like we read a lot about the dysfunction in the locker room and everything else, but it seems like more things come out and you see more guys in support of Baker. It's like, so what the hell really happened? Well, we might never know.
we may never know. I don't know,
Uh,
man. We released Mike Harley, one of the wide receivers that I was really impressed with. I was kind of hoping he would make the team. Um, what what was your impressions with Mike Harley?
I thought he was solid. Did I read that they brought him back?
The practice squad?
Yes. Let
Ooh,
me
I
double
would love that.
check. Yes, yes. Got it
Good.
right
That
here.
makes me happy
He
if
is
that's the
back.
truth.
Yes.
Good.
All 12 players back on the practice that were brought back were brought to the practice squad, excuse me, were on the squad this year.
Another
So
surprise cut was Johnny Stanton, which I just personally like Johnny. I think he's a great dude on and off the field.
mhm.
We got nobody at fullback, but we have an absolutely stacked wide receiver. I mean, running back room. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And then
It makes me wonder if they're gonna change up the offense a little bit,
I hope so.
especially getting rid of him and then our next position group, which is tight ends, and there's only two.
Two.
And Joku and Bryant.
Did we have like four last season?
Yeah, I feel like we
I
had
think we
eight.
had four. Like, okay. That kind of scares me.
Yeah. What the guy that I was hoping they would go after who got released was OJ Howard, but the Bengals snatched him up. So what are your kind of thoughts on the tight end, man? With just two.
I don't like it. I really don't. Um, bring in one more, I think would be okay. As long as he can block. I don't know who's all out there. I got to take a look at what other tight ends have been released or free agents that are still available, but we need a little bit more depth than that. No, I mean I'm not putting no disrespect towards Harrison Bryant or David Njoku. I like both of them. I think they're both going to do great. It's just it is what it is. I mean, I would feel way more comfortable with at least one more in there.
Yeah, I agree with you on the depth situation. Again, if one of those dudes gets hurt, who's stepping in?
Bryant or vice versa. Then what? Then you're
Yeah.
forced to bring somebody in.
Yep.
I just don't want us to get in that situation where we have to. Then I think when you're forced to bring somebody in, you got to get them caught up. Like, I think it'd be better to address the issue now. And then if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You know
Exactly. I 100% agree. 100% agree. It'll be interesting to see what they do. They did keep on the practice squad Miller Forrestall, so I guess that is our backup plan for now. But I expect the Browns to make some kind of move at tight end.
Hoping so.
Yes. Offensive line, we kind of knew where we were at with Jedrick, Batonio, Wyatt, Conklin. Pochich is out. The center position scares me
Very
a little
much.
bit. Yeah.
The guy I was hoping they would reach out to, the vice president of the Players Association, decided to retire. So
yeah,
there goes that. There goes that idea. What else? Who else is out there? Jeez.
I feel like centers is one of those positions where there's guys out there, but I'll be honest, like it's not a glamour position. So you only hear about the guys when they're doing really well or they're screwing up. You don't hear about the guy that's just floating along doing his job, really.
It's not an easy position to do. I tried center because I used to play right tackle.
Okay.
And guard. I tried switching over one time. No, not for me, man. I'm good. I couldn't snap the ball for the life of me, but at least a long snap. Nope, I wasn't able to do that. It was embarrassing, but hats off to the people that can pull it off. So that position definitely scares me.
Yeah, there's I don't know. They're gonna. I like to think that's another position that they're gonna look and see who is available, or if they're comfortable with the guys on the roster. Just by looking at the players that are available, there's not really any names that jump out to me that JC is still on this list. So yeah, we obviously know that's not an option. Matt Paradis, Nick Martin, Josh Andrews. Yeah, it seems like it's the slim.
Slim pickings for sure. It's not looking good. Oh, that was depressing. I guess we just gotta pray, man. Pray on
it. That's a position of need for sure. Along with our next position group, the defensive line. We know we're set with Miles and Clowney on the ends. The middle of the line, I'll just put my hands up. They've got some guys with a little bit of experience there, but
a little bit.
But they also got guys with very, very little experience.
Which I have to mention that the rookie class this year during the preseason looked exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see more out of what's his name from Oklahoma?
Perrion?
Yes, Perrion Winfrey.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to see more out of him, but Isaiah Thomas looked great. He's banged up right now, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back soon, but he was very impressive. Perrion, once he gets comfortable and gets back into the groove of things, I think he's going to be a problem. He's going to be an absolute menace on the field. But like you said, they don't really have that much. We have a lot of youth in there. So
yes.
That's why I was kind of confused. Isaac Rochelle has been in the league for a little bit. Consider him a veteran. And like I said, he was impressive during the preseason. I was just really surprised they went that route and cut him just to make room for a quarterback, which Minnesota drafted that quarterback, the third round?
I believe so.
And they gave up on him already, but they wanted him over Rosen. What does that say about Rosen? I kind of feel bad for the guy, but
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel bad for the dude. I mean,
I try to I kind of do it, but I kind of don't because it always brings me back to that interview he had when he got drafted when he said there's 9 mistakes
Yeah.
before me, and I'm gonna spend the rest of my career making them realize I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, dude. And he's played for what, 4 teams already? It's just not
Is it
working out.
four? I feel like maybe even I feel like it might be more than that. I feel like he's been all over this damn league. And
Arizona, Atlanta,
Mhm.
Cleveland, Miami.
I feel like he was with the Dolphins. Um, who else? I feel like he was with. I feel like he had 6 teams.
If it's 6 teams in that short period, jeez, what does that say about him?
Like I feel bad for him because of just getting moved around. But yeah, that whole comment about the 9 mistakes. Now you look like an idiot now.
Yeah, you
Oh,
really do.
San Francisco, and Atlanta.
He played for San Francisco.
But yeah, he was a backup there. I think that was last season, and then yeah, in Atlanta. So yeah, 6 squads.
All right.
He's got more teams and years in the league.
But to be fair, he really hasn't had a fair shot at being a starter. I mean, he had that
I
one
agree.
year in Atlanta. I mean, Arizona, and then they went and got Kyler Murray,
Yeah,
and then that's when it all got. He just got tossed around. So you
yeah, I
can't.
agree.
One year is not really enough for somebody, but then he goes to Atlanta where you got Matt Ryan at the time.
Mhm.
Then you got Jimmy Garoppolo and San Fran, which I wasn't aware he even played there. Then who was in Miami when he was there? Was that Fitzpatrick still?
I believe so. I think that was Fitz and Tua, and then yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just
So
brought him in just for depth in that position. Just so they knew he was never gonna get the shot to be the guy. So I don't
yeah,
know, man.
he's a camp arm for us, and he'll hopefully he can find somewhere where he can catch on and make a career for himself. Hopefully.
Houston, maybe?
They need help at the quarterback. Well, they need
They
help at
need
a lot
help
of
everywhere.
positions.
Houston needs a lot of help.
uh, our linebackers. This is a spot where I kind of feel like they could use a a mean, nasty, ass kicking stud. They got JOK, but I feel like he's kind of like that tweener guy who can
Yeah,
play a little bit all over the field.
yeah. He's more of a hybrid. He's all over the place. But I
Yeah,
agree with you. I want like just someone just mean, kind of
yeah,
like the presence, kind of like Brian Urlacher used to have when he was
yes
on the
sir,
field.
yes
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? But that would be nice. I think that'd be huge.
Yeah, dude, that would be. But it seems like this front office is not really keen on investing a lot in linebackers. So
I agree.
um, it is what it is with JOK, Anthony Walker, Jacob Phillips, Taki, and then Fields and I'm not even gonna try and pronounce this dude's name. Uh, Jordan. Yeah, I'll butcher it. I don't even want to
Yeah,
try.
I'm gonna butcher it too.
Yeah, so this linebacker doesn't seem to be a position that they seem to invest in, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'd like to see them get somebody.
and then I agree with you 100%. How do you feel about our backfield though, our secondary and everything?
Strength of the team.
I agree 100%. I think it may be one of the best in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and I love D'Anthony Bell making the team. Love it.
Yeah, they even I will go back to 2018, and between this front office and then the Dorsey regime, they have completely reshaped the defensive backfield. So I feel like that's the strength of our team, and their teams are going to have a chance to maybe run it a little against us,
Yeah,
but it should be that secondary. They shouldn't let a whole lot go. I don't expect to see anything, and I said this before. I don't expect to see anything like we saw in the first half of last season, where wide receivers were running wide open and our secondary looked lost.
I agree.
I don't expect to see any of that this year. Well, what's your thoughts on our on what we got in the defensive backfield?
I love it. I love Greg Newsome. I you got Ward back there. I literally think we have one of the most talented backfields in the league. I have no I don't think they need to bring anybody else. I think just need to roll with it. Grant Delpit's great. He's healthy. They're all once they get in the groove of things and they start that's why I drafted them in our fantasy league. I think Cleveland's defense is going to be one of the top fantasy defenses in the league. So
I mean, they have a chance to. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't, especially like I said, with that defensive backfield. I expect a lot of interceptions. I expect a lot of batted balls by defensive by DBs. I see a lot of strength back here.
I do too.
Um, so we kind of went over our 53. We had oh, excuse me, can't forget about special teams. Uh,
Cade
Cade
York.
York, yes, Cade York. I got to the game super early because I haven't driven down to a Browns game in probably 20 years because I'm down there early tailgating. I'm
I usually am
Ubering.
too. I usually am
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I'm Ubering. You know, I had my dad and my son with me. So I was like, let me get down here early. I have no idea what traffic is going to be like. I was in the stadium at 5:30 watching, just watching York go at it. I saw the 70-yarder.
You
Yeah,
saw it in person?
yeah, yeah. The kid's
Did
got a
he
leg.
just barely make it?
He hit that bad boy. He
Yeah.
I mean it would have been good from, you know, he had a few extra yards on it, but I mean
Still,
just the fact he hit from 70. But
dude's got a boot.
I also saw him miss like a 45 or two. So I was recording everything, and of course I missed the 70, but I of course I caught the dink.
I'm not even mad at that, man. He can miss one here and there. That's fine. I know that I got high hopes for him. I kind of
Yeah,
like we want to get a Cade York jersey.
I mean, you are the Jersey King.
Yeah, I have too many. I've been on a hunt for a Phil Dawson jersey for so long, and that is the hardest to buy, to find. Like an old Reebok one, can't
Uh-huh.
find it anywhere.
Really?
Can't find it anywhere.
Damn,
I might just have to suck it up and get a personalized one off the
man.
website, but it's
Yeah,
gonna hurt.
a
Yeah, I
little
got like
bit.
28, 29 jerseys
Oh wow, wow.
total. Browns jerseys. I think current players I have Chubb, Miles, Denzel, and I think that may be it. The rest of them are
Man,
past players.
man. That's why I've always been scared to buy jerseys because it's the Browns. So you know they're here one year and gone the next.
Yeah. Now it just became a thing where I just collect them. I got Vinny Testaverde, I got Tim Couch, I got a ton of them, man.
Nice, nice. York, Corey Borquez, our punter. Uh,
What do you think of our
punter
punter?
has punter has not become as an important position as it was from like 2000 to 2017.
Yeah, I think
Um,
the league's changed a little bit since then.
yeah, and our offense was so poor during those years. You know, the punter was on the field almost as much as they were. So
Just
it'll be
like
nice
Phil
to
Dawson,
have
that's why he's the team's leading scorer.
exactly. But yeah, it'll be nice to have a competent kicking battery back there between the punter and Borquez and Cade York.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
It's taken me a little bit. All the drama from this season, from the off season, was I think it wore on me, man. I'm an old Browns fan, man. I just want to watch football.
Yeah. I just want us to be good for once, man. It's one time.
All right, so we went over it. We went over our 53 man, and we're gonna close our show. You know, if you listen to Den the Dogs, we you know the phrase. If you don't wear brown and orange, you don't matter. That's what
That's
we
right.
live by. But we're gonna talk a little bit about the comments by Baker Mayfield, which has
Yes.
become a little bit of a he said she said. So it came out that he said
He's gonna F us
to
up.
Cynthia Freeland, right?
Yeah.
Um, she came out and, you know, her and Baker were doing a little bit of playful bantering, and then he basically said about the Browns, I'm gonna F them up. She came out and backtracked on it, and then he came out today and said he didn't say it at all. Now, now this is just me. This is me, and this is you. We're
Yeah,
Browns fans. We
right.
we watched Baker for 4 years, and I tweeted this. I 100% believe he said that kind of stuff.
I
Absolutely,
100% believe that.
yeah. I just didn't believe that he would say it to a person who would come back and report it.
Right.
So, I guess what are your thoughts, and how do you think this is gonna play into Week 1?
Well, they asked Miles how he felt about that, and Miles basically said what I feel too. That's kind of how Baker is. His trash talking, his attitude comes to game. Um, that's who Baker's always been. So you kind of, if you know Baker for that, you kind of just take it for what it is. But at the same time, knowing what all has transpired in the offseason, the time he's been here, Cleveland kind of did him dirty, whether you
Mm-hmm.
want to admit it or not. Hey, I like Baker. I've always liked Baker. Did I hate to see him go? Kind of. Did I wish they gave him one more year? Yes. Could they have handled it better? Sure. Do I want him to do good? Yeah, just not against us. But
No.
I'm hoping still. Miles even said it too. He knows that's what Baker is, but still they're going to use that as motivation, and I hope the hell they do. Come out with an attitude. I hope that defensive line lights him up. I want to see Miles get the first sack. You know how great that would be if that was at home and Miles sacked him.
Oh, blow up.
That
Blow up.
place will erupt, bro. That place would go nuts. I would be there in the front row going crazy. But
yeah.
I kind of just laughed about it when I seen it. Like I kind of expected it. He's been way too quiet about the whole thing, knowing how Baker has been. Because I followed him in college. I wanted him to be here. It was between him and Josh Allen. He's been way too quiet. I was ready. I've been waiting for him to say something, talk some type of crap about us. It's kind of funny that he's denying it though, because I guarantee he said it. I guarantee he said it.
Absolutely. We watched enough of this kid from the time, and especially if you followed him in college as well. We saw enough of this kid from the grabbing his junk against Kansas.
Yeah. Planting the flag in Ohio State.
Planting the flag at Ohio State. We know that's this guy's his thing. And I honestly, I was cool with it while I was here. A QB with a little bit of swag and a little bit of moxie.
It
something that the Browns
felt right as a Cleveland fan. Like,
yes,
he gets us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were playing the 49ers and Bosa sacked him and did the whole planting of the flag. I jumped out of my seat like, yes. But I was like, wait a minute, no. I didn't know how to react. Like I was happy Bosa did that, just kind of get redemption for that. But at the same time, I was pissed he sacked us.
Yeah. Yeah,
it stung when he did planting the flag in Columbus, man. I was mad about that, but
it didn't bother me. I'm not a Buckeye guy.
Oh, I am. This weekend, man, I'm ready.
They ruined me, and that'll be a story we save for another episode of Den of Dogs. But they ruined me in
we're gonna have to dig into that. Get me back on there.
Yeah, they ruined me in the '80s, man.
Did they?
I went to the very first college football game I ever went to was Ohio State, Michigan.
Ooh, what a way to go!
Yeah, and this is back in the day when security was low. You could sneak into the stadium. You could just hang out by the goalpost. But yeah, that's a story we'll jump into. We'll jump into again.
Okay.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this. Definitely. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Dean, thank you, brother. I really enjoyed this, man.
I enjoyed this too, man. Have me on here again, please. I love it.
No,
it's been an absolute honor.
Nah, man, the honor is mine, dude. I enjoyed this thoroughly. We got to get you back on for sure. And I want to come on the pile driver. I don't know a lot, but
you're more than welcome, man.
I know a little bit.
We'll talk some classic wrestling.
Okay.
That's what I grew up on.
Okay. It
was the 80s and 90s. That was my thing. So Mike knows a lot about it too. We'll get you on. We'll chat it up. It'll be a good time, man. You're more than welcome.
I'm all in. Make sure you're following all of Believe Land. We have podcast for everything you're looking for. We've got check out our written content. We're covering stuff that we don't even have podcasts for. So we're covering monsters. We're looking at UFC. There's all kinds of stuff. If you're into sports, Believe Land Media has something for you. And right now, Believe Land Prep. I tweeted before. I grew up a little bit south of here. Didn't know a whole lot about the Cleveland high school scene. Players and stuff like that. Believe Them Prep, though. I'm following them, obviously, and they are giving me an education about kind of what's going on around here. I knew a little bit, but
High school football is pretty big around here. So if you're a big
yeah,
high school football fan, we're covering it all. Head on over to believelandmedia.com. Check it out. We got Believe in Prep on Twitter as well. We got interviews coming up, highlights, players of the week. Thank you to our sponsors who hooked us up with that as well. You guys are amazing. And just head on over there, man. You're not going to be disappointed. There's literally something for everybody. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, in the words of the immortal Freddie Kitchens, if you don't wear brown and orange, you don't matter. Thanks for listening, y'all. Peace.
Have a good one.